In tonight's Project Safe Schools, the governor unveiling a new quarantine policy for schools across the state. A change aimed at getting and keeping students and teachers in the classroom. 2 Works for You's Katie Callagher shares what these changes are and how local school districts are responding. Katie?
Thanks, Aaron. Governor Kevin Stitt says the decision for kids to be in school should be up to their parents. Meanwhile, local districts aren't changing their policies just yet.
The data is clear. In-person school is safe and it's what's best for our kids.
Governor Kevin Stitt hoping to keep students and teachers in the classroom with an updated quarantine policy. The policy says Oklahoma schools following safety protocols and enforcing masks won't have to quarantine after a potential exposure as long as students and staff aren't showing symptoms. However, the policy does not apply if the exposure happens during after-school activities like sports, and exposed students and teachers should still quarantine in situations where mask and distancing rules were not followed. Anyone who tests positive for COVID must still isolate. State leaders say it's critical that students be in school.
The long-term impact of our students going another semester without the in-person learning option would be catastrophic academically, emotionally, and physically.
Governor Stitt using Broken Arrow High School as an example, saying the state's largest high school has been in person for 66 days. Meanwhile, calling out Tulsa Public Schools for keeping its students home.
Just minutes away, Tulsa Public Schools, their high schoolers haven't been in the building for 305 days. 305 days. All because you live a couple blocks the wrong direction.
Tulsa Public Schools releasing a statement in conjunction with the Tulsa Classroom Teachers Association, pointing out the rise in COVID cases and saying in part, no one wants our students back in their classrooms with their teachers and peers as much as we do. Our students, our teachers, our team, our board, and our parents are all very anxious to get back to in-person learning safely. We're also committed to the safety of our students, our team members, and their families. Union Public Schools will continue following CDC guidelines. Jinx and Bixby Public Schools say they will review the policy. Meanwhile, State Superintendent Joy Hoffmeister releasing a statement saying in part, while this option underscores the need for mask requirements in schools, I cannot in good conscience support ignoring quarantine guidelines from the CDC and other infectious disease experts. State Health Commissioner Lance Fry says teachers 65 and older are starting to get vaccinated this week and will be followed by other teachers once the vaccine supply is available. He says they are also increasing mask and PPE supplies to schools. Katie Callagher, 2 Works for You.